Well, the Great Reset plan is in motion all over the globe. And right now, we are seeing the fruits of its labor, so to speak. We are seeing everything from an energy crisis to a food crisis to right now, we are seeing things like rationing, like blackouts, like rolling blackouts, and even intervention emergencies that are now being put into place because people are starting to recognize the threat that this Great Reset has become. People are starving, people are hungry, people are rioting, people are protesting. We are again seeing something specifically global chaos on a scale unlike we have ever witnessed before. I've got so much to show you in today's broadcast, but before I do, I want to remind you, check out my partner at backupsolarbank.com. If you guys don't have one of these things, you really need to get one because what this does is you can take your cell phone and it charges your cell phone in the sun. So imagine this. Imagine you were out taking a walk and you lost your battery power that you had on your phone. Well, you really have no option unless you have a charger that is powered by the sun. So right now, I encourage you to get this. This could be a lifesaver if you're in a national park or anything like that. And right now, if you use the coupon code LISA15, Lisa and the number 15, you get 15% off this bad boy. It's awesome. So check it out at backupsolarbank.com. All right. So with that, let's dive into this chaos that is literally surrounding all of us via this great reset agenda that they're shoving down down all of our throats. This is one reason why they're so after President Trump, because he is not giving in to this Great Reset agenda. So they are trying to keep him out of power. So what is some of this, the fruit of their labor of this Great Reset agenda? Well, let's look over in Europe and see what's happening now. Right now, we have energy prices literally skyrocketing. Take a look here. And this is on gasintel.com. European power prices skyrocket as natural gas supply fears keep driving records. And by the way, this is all over the globe, not just Europe. Obviously, our prices are skyrocketing here in the US as well. This is causing terrible winters or predicted terrible winters for Europe. Europe's winters could be terrible for up to 10 years unless the European Union caps natural gas prices immediately, a Belgium minister warns. Not only that, but here's some other stuff going on in Europe as well. Telegraph.co.uk. Germans will have to burn wood to stay warm this winter, warns the Dutch bank. Why? Well, because their prices for energy are so high. We also have Zero Hedge. Google searches for firewood in Germany have exploded. We have Reuters.com in Poland right now, where coal is king. Homeowners are queued for days just to buy fuel, literally waiting in line for days just to get what they need. And mark my words, that kind of stuff is coming to the United States. Here we have Irish Central. Ireland faces blackouts, huge increase in energy bills and higher gas prices. And mark my words, some of what we're seeing internationally is obviously we're going to see here in the US, and we're already seeing spikes, not spikes as bad as some of these countries, but we're definitely here in the US, and I do believe we're going to get worse. We also have on France 24, this was just announced, the French Prime Minister says companies may face energy rationing this winter. And speaking of rationing there in France, they're already doing that in Spain. Here we have theguardian.com. Spain put limits on air conditioning and heating to save energy. Here's how extreme it actually was. They were told to not set them above 19 degrees Celsius, and air conditioning should not be set below 27 degrees Celsius. And that was in your shopping centers, your cinemas, and all of these kinds of businesses. But to put that in perspective, here in the US, that means that during or when you're in the blazing hot temperatures, that means you can only set, when it's hot outside, your thermostat to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine being hot outside in the Arizona heat and coming home to 80 degrees. Not only that, but in the winter, you can only set it to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. This could be a death sentence to some of our elderly people who really, really need some cooling temperatures. But you know what? It's other places as well. Here we have CNN, communistbusiness.com, UK household energy bills to soar by 80% in October. Imagine how high that is. Here in America, we could very well see that the way that the Biden administration is taking us. We have blackout Britain, stark energy warnings as 24/7 electricity at risk to return to 1970s. And that was a complete chaos. Disaster, by the way. Also, there's rationing right now in China. Leave the energy for the people. China begins rationing energy supplies amid their severe droughts. Now, they all have varying reason, but for the majority of it, Europe and the other countries, they're saying, oh, this is all due to Russia and the war with Russia. Never mind the fact that they've been closing down nuclear power plants. Never mind the fact that they've been stopping drilling and banning fracking and getting rid of some of the fossil fuels that, you kind of need for energy. No. It has nothing to do with the Great Reset plan. We're just going to use the Russia war as blame. And by the way, I'll give credit where credit's due. Obviously, some of it is due to what is happening in Russia, right? Here we have, for example, and this is on ABC News, Russia again cuts natural gas exports to European countries, and I believe they cut 20% of it, and they provide around 40%. It's significant. Not only that, but we have the sun.co.uk nuclear, Europe's biggest nuclear power plant, disconnected from power grid as Russia troops mass amid Ukraine disasters. Why is that happening? Why this is such a big impact to Russia right now? Because they've been closing down their power plants. ABC News, Germany shuts down half of its 6 remaining nuclear power plants. And I believe they were even discussing processes on closing down the other ones there, but I believe it was postponed or talk of it being postponed. But either way, they wouldn't be in the mess that they're in if they weren't shoving these green Great Reset agenda style policies down the throats of the people. And now, unfortunately, many of our European brothers and sisters are reaping the consequences of what their leaders have done. And mark my words, Joe Biden is doing that right now in the United States of America. By the way, if you haven't gone to restrictedrepublic.com, get there, check it out. I have been talking in detail about this Great Reset plan. There's Facebook and YouTube. Get to Restricted Republic. Use the coupon code FOREVER50 to get the annual rate, the entire every single year. You pay $50 and it's forever. It's for life. Use the coupon code FOREVER50. But I've got so much bombshell information. But with that said, Europe is now coming together, their leaders, and they're issuing and starting a European emergency intervention plan. Take a look on Bloomberg.com. EU plans emergency intervention to stem surging power prices. What do they exactly plan to do? Are they going to give a green light to some more nuclear plants? Are they going to, start drilling and get more of that going in their country? Are they going to, be more self-sufficient? Nope. They want to go price caps. Take a look. A draft internal EU document seen by Bloomberg News earlier this year showed the Commission considered an option of capping gas prices to avoid unbearable high cost if Russia significantly limits or cuts off the flow. In other words, we're going to put price caps, which, by the way, 90% of the time, that comes with rationing, or basically 100%. Another possibility, or one possibility, would be to limit price formation during the disruption scenario by capping the price on European gas exchanges. But the documents showed such a price cap in general be introduced in different ways and can intervene in different levels of the gas value chain. So that is how they plan to intervene in Europe. I don't think it works very well. I don't think they care either. You see, it's all part of the Great Reset agenda. They don't care if you suffer. They put the plan into place knowing dang well what it would cost. The pandemic kicked everything off. The war was just their icing on the cake, and let's just go full throttle here. And now they're going to meet and make up a plan, to satisfy the people of Europe so there's not massive riots. And I guarantee you, the way that they're headed, it looks like there's going to be massive riots. Again, global chaos is exploding. In fact, take a look at some of the real world consequences outlined in this zerohedge.com article. What will be the real world consequences of Europe's coming energy crisis? And here's what they conclude. Civil unrest will happen, or happen anyway. But it goes on. Climate restrictions, green energy rules on carbon emissions, and other ludicrous measures are making it impossible for Europeans to adapt to crisis events. Prices will be high and price caps won't help with supply shortages. When people start to freeze, there will be anger and desperation. The only legitimate short-term solution to prevent a historic energy calamity in the EU this winter would be to remove sanctions on Russia. But NATO has made it clear that this will not happen. So the European people are being positioned to face the consequences while being told there will be no consequences. And when the pain starts to hit, they will be told it's all for the greater good. Where have we heard that before? Oh, yeah. The green agenda is for the greater good. You just suffer. It doesn't matter that, this is causing your grandma to have heart palpitations or whatever. Let's just cut it off, for whatever. They should have never been in this crisis in the first place. Meanwhile, on top of all of that, Elon Musk has issued a peculiar warning for us here in America. Take a look here at the epictimes.com. Elon Musk says the world needs oil and gas or civilization will crumble. Whether or not you like Elon Musk, he's not wrong on this one. Tech entrepreneur Elon Musk told reporters in Norway on August 29th that while sustainable energy sources should be developed, the world must continue to extract oil and gas in order to sustain civilization. And here's his direct quote. Realistically, we do need to use oil and gas in the short term because otherwise civilization will crumble, he said. In order for civilization to continue to function, we do need oil and gas, he continued, adding that any reasonable person would conclude that not only should oil and gas continue to be used to keep civilization running, Musk said that further exploration is warranted at this time. In other words, civilization is going to collapse unless we start implementing and using oil and gas in the short. Right? I don't think we should veer away from that until we have reliable sources. So far, the green agenda hasn't really produced anything so green when it comes to their windmills and their batteries, right? Anyhow, so much is happening across the globe. The truth of the matter is chaos is abounding, not just here in America, but everywhere. It's all part of the Great Reset agenda. Get to Restricted Republic if you want more information on that. But we've got warnings alarms being sounded. We have the green movement underway, and then we have the useful idiots who are unfortunately still backing this despite everything that's going on. Well, one day it's going to hit them really hard in their pocketbooks. And the question is, what's more important? Your movement in conjunction with the Great Reset or your actual livelihood and your family? Anyhow, I love all of you. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.